Hello, Mammals. Bob the Raptor here, and today I am with Joe.
Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, Bob,
Yeah, Joe?
how come we're shooting today's video up here in the attic?
Well, today is Monday.
Yeah, and what does that have anything to do with us being in the attic?
Well, the vote is in on Mammals Choice Monday, and the poll winner is a action figure review and a deeper dive into my action figure collection.
Oh, seriously? That's what the mammals voted for? I was really hoping we could do the state park.
Um, we'll get to that, Joe.
So anyway, for those of y'all who don't know, every weekend, Bob and I put up a poll on our community tab, and the winner of the poll is the one we end up doing on Monday. I was really hoping that the visit to the state park would be the one that would win the poll.
Yeah, and it was close. Like you said, I think we will ultimately do both, but today it is action figure day.
All right, so since this is going to be like a nerd video, and I don't really care much about nerd stuff, about whatever the heck you're going to do, you go find your nerd toys and stuff. I am going to go downstairs, probably watch some YouTube videos about that involve like meat or cheese or beer.
Joe,
Nope, I'm sorry, I'm out.
fine. All right. Well, for today's video, like you said, I was talking about taking like a deeper dive into my action figure collecting, and I was thinking, and we were gonna do an action figure review, and I have been collecting Star Wars figures for some time, so we are going to talk about the new retro reissue vintage Star Wars that are at Walmart right now for like Empire Strikes Back and stuff. But I actually kind of wanted to come up here to the attic and pull out this box and you know take a look at some of my other pieces that are packed away. So let's check it out. So yeah, we wanted to talk about the retro reissue figures from Walmart for Empire Strikes Back. These figures are difficult but not impossible to find at Walmart. They are different from they have the vintage style packaging, which is nice, but they are also different. And there are good and bad points to that. Those people who like own the vintage figures says, yeah, I don't want anything else like that out there. And for those of us who do not own packaged vintage, kind of would like to have something a little bit closer. So it is an appropriate balance. Obviously, there is a big retro sticker on there, which obviously the vintage figures did not have. And if you look at the bubble where the figure is, you can see that on the vintage bubble, it was like it just came down where the silver and the blue was, and you can see that this bubble is actually very much bigger and very much deeper. However, comparing with a loose vintage figure, the reissue is very, very similar. So if you just have like loose 3 3/4 inch figures, and then you see this and it's like, oh yeah, this may not be the same. I have some 3 3/4 inch figures. Personally, I do not do a lot of collecting with the 3 3/4 inch figures. Largely down to just the size. I certainly do not keep a lot that are packaged like this, but I did want to do this like for the review. A lot of times I will like get like accessories for 3 3/4 inch plastic mammals because they are my size and they are a lot of fun. And as we look at the card back here, you can see it is very different from like a vintage Star Wars, mainly that says Disney and Hasbro. At the time, the vintage Star Wars was not owned by Disney, and the company that made Kenner Star Wars figures was called Kenner. Kenner got bought by Hasbro in the 90s. So very, very quick tells, on that. And although these are not the same exact figures of the Leia mammal, like this is the retro and this is an actual vintage one. And if you take a look here, you can see the shape of the bubble. You see how, again, I am filming through the star case here, but you can see how the bubble does not go out onto the picture of the Leia mammal, whereas here the bubble definitely goes out further. It is also a thinner bubble on the vintage here. I will demonstrate. So yeah, I'm a little nervous. I took my vintage one out of the case to demonstrate, but see how thick the bubble here is on the retro, and see how relatively thin the bubble is on the vintage. So again, it's an easy way to tell them apart. Personally, I do not like the thick bubble. But that is just me. Again, I will not be buying a lot of vintage or modern 3 3/4 inch packaged figures anyway, just because they are relatively big. But anyway, so up here you can see my vintage Star Wars Han and Leia from Hoth. I have a Millennium Falcon over here, and then I have a B-wing pilot and an A-wing, which is a ton of fun, and then like a Rebel snow speeder over here. So yeah. So yeah, there you go. A little deeper dive into my collection, in this case specifically Star Wars. If you like this kind of video, do let me know. Again, Joe's participation in these will probably be minimal because frankly he does not care about like plastics mammals, or he just calls it my nerd room and stuff. So but yeah, do let me know in the comments below. Also, we do have a live stream every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern if you want to come and hang out with Joe and I. Yeah, if you like this video, then please like and subscribe. And if you have a question or a comment or a place you would like to see us go in the future, again, also let me know. So thank you for watching and have a great day.